Hi guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to be working with some new paints today, a different brand than you're used to seeing me using. A while back, I told y'all there was a company that had contacted me, and they had asked me to do a review of their products, that they sent me some, and I said, absolutely, totally awesome. I was super psyched. So, I got my box in the mail the other day, and let me tell you, coming home and seeing a great big old box of paint sitting up on your porch, it's like winning the lottery. So, they sent me, I was expecting just a few sample boxes, a few sample packets. But what they sent me was a box of 14 little pouches that are 120 mils, which is basically about 4 fluid ounces, which is a lot of paint. That's normally what I would get. This, you normally see me using the Artist Loft. That's the same amount of paint. So, yeah, ARTEZA is the company, and their words, they are a small creative group designing art supply essentials at affordable prices. They're located in Delaware, in the United States. So, and I'm not entirely sure if they ship outside the United States, so anybody outside the United States, I'm sorry if you can't get this, and it turns out to be like the most awesome paint. Yeah, so they sent me these paints. They also sent me some 12-inch by 12-inch canvases, just their economy canvases. They sound pretty good. They're pretty stiff. These are like, they're not sagging at all. So I'm interested to see how well they're going to do. They're you get a pretty good thump right there. So that's good to start with. So because you don't want your canvas sagging when you got paint puddling up in the middle, because it'll just dry cracked. They got staples up here in the corners where I like to staple my canvases that I get from other places, because typically they're not stapled in the corners like this. So this like fold over will tend to, this fold over right here will tend to kind of peel up a little bit when the paint dries. So I kind of like the fact that they're stapled in the corner there. Pretty cool. So we're going to try that later on. The paint packets are these cute little squishy, they're like those little packets you get, like little kid packets like applesauce and stuff like that in. And the color on the front, this is not a window, but underneath it's a window, and the color is, as you can kind of see, identical. So the color you see on the front, that's the color paint you're going to get. And they've got this little tab up here at the top, tells you what the color is. This is pale green, and then it gives you your little pluses and your little box that shows you whether it's transparent or opaque or halfway in between. So you can easily see, how your paint's going to work for you. The little top here just kind of screws off. It's got a little safety tab for the first time, and then you just screw it off and squeeze your paint out and put the little top, screw the top back on. So I think, it seems like it's going to be a pretty tight little, it's a little tight little fit right there. So I think it's going to keep your paint nice and secure in there. Let's see if there's anything else on the back. There's a guarantee. It says if your product does not perform properly, please contact us for a replacement. And yeah, so so far, all my contact with this company has been pretty awesome. So yeah. So I'm going to give you my link. This is the link they give me. I know it's a long one. It'll be down below in my my info button. I know I'm real bad about putting any kind of information down there. I'm really sorry. I've just kind of been buzzing along, and usually I just tell you what colors I use, because if I had to go through and write that all down underneath the info every single time, I'd get bored, like really super fast. So that's why I like to just go ahead and tell you in my videos, and I know sometimes I miss it. So if I don't mention the colors in the video, feel free to ask me. But you know what, guys, y'all are creative. You wouldn't be artists if you weren't creative. So pick out your own colors. You can use mine as sort of a, oh, she's using purple and pink and turquoise and orange, and they go well together. So I'm just gonna go pick out my own purple, pink, teal, and orange, or whatever. Yeah, don't use just my colors, because I tell you, I've seen some people who have put some weird colors together, and it has been so freaking awesome. So, you know, try something else. So I'm going to try the same formula I use with, you know, every other painting I've ever done, which is the paint, and then floetrol, which is, I usually use 30 to 40% ratio of floetrol to paint. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of chilled distilled water to make it just the right consistency, which is kind of, for me, kind of thick honey. And so anyway, this is the link. So what happens is, if you guys love this paint, you can click on my link that's down in my info right below the video. Click on this link and it'll take you to the ARTEZA website. And if you decide you want to order some of these paints, they come in either a box of 14, and they also come in single packets. So if you just want like 3 colors, you can order just the 3 colors. But if you click on my link, go to the website, this link takes you directly to the website, and then you can order whatever you want to order. And I'm not entirely sure if you need my referral ID number, but my referral ID is Heather Wright 521. So if you guys buy paint under my link, then I actually get a small part of ARTEZA's profits. You guys aren't putting any extra money towards it, nothing. You're just buying paint, and I kind of get the benefit from it by getting a little smidgen of their profit from it, which is totally awesome, because I really really need some cash flow. So it's kind of like your way of donating to my channel without actually having to donate any money. So it's pretty cool. I was really super excited about finding out about this. So that's it. We're gonna try these colors out, and I haven't really even decided. You know, we're gonna do a simple flip cup to begin with, just to see how the paints work, and we're going to go from there. I'm probably going to do, because the video they saw was a flip cup with the tree rings or whatever, I'm probably going to do one of those just to see how it does. I haven't done one of those in a really long time, so I'm kind of excited to try it again. So let me tell you a little bit more about the ARTEZA website, just you know, what they've got. They have the pens, they have artist brushes, markers, they even have quilting supplies, which is kind of cool. Of course, they've got canvases and panels. They got pencils, sketchbooks, and paper. Of course, they have the paint, and then they have what's called the ARTEZA collections, which are kind of neat. The ARTEZA collections are like a grouping of 2 or 3 different products that kind of go together. So you've got like brush pens grouped with the watercolor pads, or the mini canvases with some detail paint brushes, and also some gel pens with transfer paper, and then some woodless watercolor pencils with the watercolor pads. And the woodless watercolor pencils, I've used watercolor pencils before, and they're really super cool. They're fun to try out. So if you've never tried out a watercolor pencil before, I know we don't do this on this channel. Maybe I'll do that one time for you, if y'all are interested at all. But if you've never used watercolor pencils, and you know you're kind of sick of painting for the week or for the month or whatever, go try out some watercolor pencils. They're really cool. They're really fun, real simple, real easy to use. Just kind of a neat getaway from, you know, the everyday. So, and with the paints that ARTEZA carries, they have the color sets, and then they have the singles of the premium acrylics, and then they've got watercolors. They've got gouache. Gouache is basically opaque watercolor. So if you're going to work in watercolors, you also want to buy some gouache, because the gouache is, obviously the watercolors are transparent and the gouache is not. So it's kind of a cool, you know, not too many people know what gouache is, so it's a cool medium to work in too. ARTEZA also has 3D fabric paint. They also have face paint, and they have kids tempera paints, and they even have these little kids watercolor kits, which are really cool. They also have, now summer's coming up, so this is going to be awesome for your kids. They've got hair chalk, and they've got UV face and body paint, so perfect for the summertime. So y'all go check them out, and we're going to move on and see how these paints are going to work for us. Okay, so you can see I've got all the colors that came in the box, the 14 set box. I just wanted to show you what the colors were. some really pretty stuff. Of course, they've got the phthalo green and the phthalo blue, which are pretty much almost everybody's favorite colors. I know they're totally my favorite colors. And then, of course, this beautiful, what is it called? Pale green. And then this really pretty bright, it's called lemon yellow. Of course, they've got the titanium white, the Mars black. They've got some silver and gold in there. For those of you that love the metallics, they got this really pretty crimson red. So I think what we're going to do is kind of play it a little bit on the safe side today with this particular pour. And we're going to do some colors that kind of go together. I might do a little mixing of the colors too. I think we're going to go with the phthalo green and the phthalo blue because those are my favorites. And then probably maybe a little bit of this yellow green to see how it does. Because I know a lot of times with a lot of my yellowy green colors, or this is pale green, sorry. A lot of times with the green, it kind of washes over everything. So we're going to see how this one does. I'm kind of hoping these colors are going to stay a little more separate. But we'll see. So we're probably going to do maybe, I don't know, possibly some ocean colors. Maybe mix a little bit of phthalo green or the phthalo blue with some titanium white and see what it does. All right, let's get your paint mixed up and I'll be back. Okay, change of plans. I'm going to mix colors together that if you mix them all together, they're going to turn brown. That way we can kind of see how the colors mix together in a flip cup. Give it more of a, you know, an honest try. So these are the colors we're going to use. We're going to do phthalo green, titanium white, ultramarine blue, which is a really bright blue, crimson red, and then lemon yellow. Okay, so I think we're going to go with these colors here. Pale green, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and phthalo green, plus the titanium white. And I mixed, this is ultramarine blue, plus titanium white, plus a little bit of phthalo green, just to sort of put a mix in there to see how the mixed paint does together. You can see it's got a lot of air bubbles, so just kind of whack those on the table. We'll move these out of the way. This is my 12-inch by 12-inch canvas from ARTEZA, so we're going to see how it does. And some of you have told me that you have a hard time seeing sometimes the painting for all the mess underneath and the newspaper. So I'm trying something a little different. I've gotten a few ideas from people. A shower curtain, which was an awesome idea. What else was there? I'm sorry. But anyway, I went to go buy one of those clear shower curtains, but I could only go up the street today because I'm really not feeling all that great. So the store that I went to, it was like $6 for a shower curtain. I'm like, no, I'm not paying $6. I've seen them cheaper. So I got home and then I realized I've got some of this plastic sheeting that goes over the windows. So I put that over the table. You can kind of see where like all the paint is on my table. But I'm lucky. My family is very supportive and they just don't care, which is totally awesome. Okay, and you guys all remember my beautiful fancy torch I've got here, who really, you know, we've got this button resin shut, so I can't ever leave my finger off this button. These holes are almost resin shut. This button kind of works sometimes, but it usually gets stuck. This button will work sometimes, sometimes not, to turn the flame up and down. And I think it's kind of clogged in there. You can see there's resin right here too. And this button down here for putting the butane in always gets clogged. And as you can see, it does not ever want to light. Well, look what I got. Beautiful, shiny new torch. Look at that flame. That is crazy. Woo! Wow. That's turned all the way down. Watch this. I'll turn it all the way up. You can just hear. You can solder with this little thing. This little baby. It's just a kitchen torch, you know, for creme brulee and stuff, but you can actually solder metal together with it. So I'm really super excited. I finally got me a new torch. My husband loves me. He said that's an early anniversary gift. Our anniversary is actually just like in about a month. It's in May, so we're going to be celebrating 10 years. So pretty awesome. All right, we're going to get on with this. I noticed when I was stirring the paint up with the floetrol, the paint actually mixed in really quickly, and smoothly with the floetrol. I know with some other paints, I don't always have the best luck with mixing the floetrol in. There's a couple of paints, most of them do fine, but there are a couple of paints that when you mix them with the floetrol, for some reason they go lumpy, and you have to mix and mix and mix, and sometimes you gotta run through a sieve, and it's just a nightmare. So, yeah, this limey green, the pale green, it did really well mixing into the floetrol, and for some reason, you know, some of the other companies, limey yellow greens do not. So yeah, I'm just kind of tapping on them to get some of the air bubbles out and checking the thickness of them. Some of them have gotten a little thicker sitting here, so I'm going to pause real quick, add a little bit more water to it, and go find my silicone. Alright, so I've got a little bit more water mixed into my paints because they were getting a little thick because they'd sat there for really not too long, maybe 15-20 minutes. So I've mixed some water in there, some chilled distilled water, not tap water. And I am just mixing in a couple drops of silicone to each color, including the white this time. Sometimes I do the white, sometimes I don't. I have really no rhyme or reason to it, so, you know, do whatever you want. And I'm definitely going to need all of these colors because I'm going to need this whole cup of paint. I didn't mix up a lot of paint because I didn't want to use like everything I had all in one painting. So I'm just sort of mixing close to the cup. You know, I'm pouring them on top of each other instead of through. You know, I don't want to hold them way up here and pour down into it. And I'm even wondering now if I've got enough paint to go around, but we'll see. I think my brown's a bit thick. That is definitely not going to be a whole cup of color. I don't know, maybe it will be. It's not looking like it though. We'll just pour what we've got and see what happens, right? I'm hoping that like this green doesn't just cover everything like it does. Like, you know, a lot of times when I use the limey greens, they just sort of coat everything. Although if it does, it'll be real springy again. Real pretty green springtime. Which again today we have some lovely springtime weather, although past couple days it was freezing for some dumb reason. And probably next week it'll be cold again. The weather is so crazy here. It didn't used to be that way. It's like, you know, in October when we used to go trick-or-treating as kids, it was freezing. And now it's like burning up half the time. Like I said, no rhyme or reason to this color scheme here. I'm just kind of pouring them all in, one on top of each other. And it looks like I'm going to have just about a full cup of paint, which is totally awesome because that's what you need for a 12 by 12. You really need a full cup. Even a little bit more than that would be awesome, but then you'd need a bigger cup. Plus, I don't think I have any more paint. That's it for the sort of a turquoisey blue that I've done. I hope this is like, all this brown is not going to just like overrun the whole thing. It's a pretty color, the burnt sienna. Very warm, warm color. And while we're not on the subject here, anybody who's new to this channel, go check out my website. It is southerndutchgirlart.com. And that's where I sell all my artwork and my my pendants, my jewelry and stuff. So if you see something there you want, email me, and I'll get you taken care of. This canvas, I noticed, is very smooth. It is a gessoed canvas. It comes gessoed already, pre-gessoed, whatever. So you know, you don't have to paint it if you don't want to. And since I'm pouring paint over it anyway, I'm not going to bother putting more gesso or white paint over it because it's covered enough for me. But the texture is real smooth, so if you like, you know, a real smooth canvas, this will be a good one for you. Alright, so I think that's all of my paints here. Got a little bit more phthalo blue in there. I just really want to give this painting a chance to, you know, spread everywhere. Oh, wow. Okay, it's fixing to go over the... Don't go over, no! If you... Oh, it's dripping. It's broken the tension on the side of the cup, so we're going to have to flip this quick. And hopefully I won't pour it everywhere before... Whoa, there it goes. See, it just started drip. Look at that. That'd be a pretty little pour right there. Okay. Holy cow, look at this. I don't know if you can see these cells that are popping up, but pretty. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to let it just sit for a second and let the silicone kind of move. But I don't want to leave it sitting too long. I can already see, like, well, you know what? I don't even know. Everything's just pretty so far, but we'll see. Oh, look at all that burnt sienna and green. And like nothing else. But sure I'm getting a lot of cells pop up real quick, so that's cool. You can see the, so far, looks like the silicone likes to play well with the with this particular paint. Look at that cup. Isn't that pretty? Wow. Alright. Sorry, I just had to make sure I was actually filming because I started thinking, I'm not entirely sure if I pushed the record button. Alright, we're just going to use this for the edges here so we can help pull the paint off. Although there's a lot of paint there, so I'm hoping to get rid of a lot of that brown though, because that's just, that burnt sienna is just too much. Too much, too much, too much. Okay. I'm just kind of looking at the cells coming up. I kind of want to torch it so that when we tilt it, but I don't want to get paint all over my new torch. So, not yet anyway. Oh well, here goes. Let's get it off my thumb anyway. Sounds like a jet engine taking off. Okay. I'm not seeing too much more going on here. Not totally excited about this one yet, but we'll see. Still got air bubbles popping all over the place. Oh, I blew on it and busted a bunch of air bubbles. Alright. Make sure y'all are still in focus. Okay. Yeah, you are, but I'm kind of going off script there. There we go. Well, this paint's got a lot of air bubbles in it, but they're still popping. This is going to be a busy, busy, busy painting. Okay, I'm going to stop blowing on the air bubble because it's already really super busy. Okay, I want to see what the cells are going to do. Are they going to stretch? Or are they going to break up as I'm moving it around? I need a side catcher, because I don't want all this paint, you know, going everywhere just yet. Alright, so we're going to I really don't want to save that corner because that's where it came out of the cup, sort of at the end there. So we'll pour that off in a minute. Really not happy about all that burnt sienna everywhere. Not at all what I had in mind. Man, this is just crazy busy. Move those back. The brown is, the burnt sienna is just taking over everything. I'm really not happy about that. All these cells are stretching, getting really long and skinny. Eh. I don't I don't know where to go with this. I got a monkey face right there. I didn't want the painting to be brown with the colors underneath like that. But oh well, you know. Next time we won't use burnt sienna. We'll just use the blues. Alright, time to get some serious pouring off the canvas going here. There's a lot of paint on there. I'm just trying to get rid of some of it. A lot of zigzaggy going on. Not a big fan of that. I don't want to push it any further that way because of this is just going to get bigger. Wow, that is so busy. Really super busy. I'm afraid to even torch it because I think it's just going to get even busier. Let me wash my hands off because, like I said, I don't want to get a boatload of paint all over my new torch already. Alrighty. That's good enough. I'm still seeing, I'm not sure if it's air bubbles popping or cells popping up, but this torch sounds scary, but like, you know, I've got it like this far from the painting and I can just feel the heat. Wishing I could get rid of, you know, that right there. Get some blue or something coming up through it. Oh, I forgot I have a button that I can push where my torch will stay on. Uh-oh, I feel like I'm running out of juice already. Okay. Alright. That's it. There we go. Well, that is a lot of cell action, I'd say. Some of these small cells turned into really big cells. You can see a lot of the white through here, and this is titanium white. So normally with the titanium white, I don't get as much white showing up. So I'm liking that because a lot of my paintings I like to have white showing up if I'm using the white. I don't know, call me crazy, but yeah, I kind of like white in there when I'm, you know, mixing up the white. I like the, you know, this color that I made, but it kind of seems like fuzzy over everything. The phthalo green, of course, and the phthalo blue are always nice. Alright, well, for our first pour with the ARTEZA colors, I'm actually pretty happy. I've got all the colors that I poured into my cup. I've got them all represented here, which is good. The lime green, or the pale green, did not take over the painting. In fact, there's not a lot of it there. So, yeah, let's get you down so you can see a close-up of everything. Okay, well, I turned my super bright light off because it looks like I used red instead of burnt sienna, and even now it still looks like red instead of burnt sienna. But like this color here and all throughout there, that's all burnt sienna, so it's really more brown. But it's pretty. Got some pretty stuff going on. A lot of I don't know, the colors mixed quite a bit. Look at that, it's kind of like there's a little bitty galaxy way in there, and there's like an eyeball right there in the center. So we're going to keep trying with these paints and see what we can come up with. I'm sorry this video ran really long, but I wanted y'all to sort of get some good information about the company, and you know, like I said, over the next few weeks we're going to do a few more videos, some different pours. We'll do a marble rose pour with it and see how it goes. And look at the link below. Click on my link and it will take you to the website, and you can just look at everything. And if you want to buy something, you know, use my link and the reference ID number, which is Heather Wright 521. Yeah, y'all go buy some pretty paints.